off is closed to spectators. We have here members of the Scuderia Ferrari fan clubs and also members of the factory at Maranello who have come to join us. Alongside me, if albeit very briefly, is Brian Oliver. The Ferrari shows, of course, celebrate everything that's great about Ferrari, whether it be GT racing, Formula One racing, whether it be Challenge, whether it be XX programs, F1 Clienty. The viewers can expect a real spectacle, can't they?
They really can. It has been a phenomenal weekend here at Mugello. And as you say, Dave, we have been celebrating everything Ferrari. A snapshot from across all the ages, not just the up-to-date stuff, but we've been looking back into the past as well, and it has been a phenomenal celebration.
And that will continue. As we can see, Formula One cars being prepared, and the Formula One cars that we will see will include the F60s and also the SF70H as well, and we'll give you indications as to who is driving what, but there is much, much more to come besides. And as I say, we're enjoying the historical group from Florence, is Castle St. Barnaba, doing a very good job indeed.
Elles sont dans le box 3 là. Ouais. 3 ou 4 3 ou 4.
So Amanda Busick, who is representing and part of the Ferrari family and comes and hails from North America. The Ferrari show as part of Finali Mondiali, and I appreciate this will be your first one, Amanda. It's going to be something very special. I hope you enjoy it as much as we do.
Well, Dave, this is absolutely my first one, and I'm just taking in the moment along with you guys. I'm sorry that you're up in the booth and I get to enjoy this beautiful show on hand, but what an honor it is to be here to represent Ferrari North America. You look back at a brand so rich in tradition and history, started in 1939 right here in Italy, being able to cover the races here with you all weekend long. But I think the treat here is, as you can see, as we point to all of the spectators that lined up ready to take in this show today. Dave, I know you said that it's not likely for me, but I am truly speechless being able to share this moment with you guys.
That would be a first, Amanda. Delighted that you're with us. And as the flag-bearing Castle St. Barnaba continue, then you can see just some of the people that take part in F1 Clienty and XX programs as well, and you can see those Formula One cars being prepared as our F1 show will include the F60s and also the SF70H. The baseball caps adorn the grandstands then. And of course, it's not only about Formula One, but the huge success that Ferrari has had across GT categories. And our GT show will include cars from the Le Mans, from the GT World Challenge, from WEC, from the DTM as well.
Allora proviamo a parlare intanto più forte dei tamburi.
You can hear in the background Alberto Borghini, the voice of Ferrari, who's guiding the show for the spectators that are here. And just for us to get a flavor of how it feels, let's listen to a moment of him.
Ma ora vogliamo dire bravi a voi che siete in tribuna. Facciamo tutto a norma di Covid, al massimo del rispetto dei protocolli, e quindi possiamo almeno riaccogliere qui Scuderia Ferrari Club. Ci siete?
And there the Scuderia Ferrari Club invited for their applause.
Coloro che dietro le quinte portano successi commerciali e sportivi.
And alongside Alberto Borghini is Giancarlo Fisichella. And Giancarlo will be driving one of the F60 Formula One cars that we will see in a few moments. Giancarlo then fine driver and a really nice guy, and he ain't bad on the turntables either. He can spin or tune or two. Of course, he had a fine Formula One career and maintains a supreme GT racing career as well, Giancarlo Fisichella. So the Castle St. Barnaba making the way off the track then for the Ferrari show to continue. And very spectacular.
Sì, la musica del V8 Ferrari della macchina che ho guidato.
Giancarlo Fisichella now. Regrettably, I can't translate for you, but he generally says how delighted he is to see the people here. And of course, following the pandemic, it's not always a given that we were going to have anyone in the grandstand, so it is delightful and a thrill for the likes of the protagonists in the show, including Giancarlo Fisichella, to be involved. And Alberto and Giancarlo making their way off the track now, because we are going to see some on-track action and a show from the F1 cars and also our Competizione GT cars as well. And the F1 cars are beginning to be prepared. They're going to be driven by Giancarlo Fisichella and Olivia Beretta, and also Andrea Bertolini. It's going to be Andrea Bertolini that will be driving the SF70H, and Olivia Beretta in an F60, and Giancarlo Fisichella in an F60 as well. The support for Charles Leclerc, as you can see, with the banner hanging from the top tier of the tribune or the grandstand here in Mugello. And Giancarlo then very quickly getting ready to get into the cockpit. And trust me, he has lost none of his driving prowess. Final instructions being given by all of these cars are independently engineered by their own team of people. Hands device goes on, crash helmet as well, and Giancarlo Fisichella will get into the cockpit of the car. So as I mentioned then, the cars we're going to see, 2 F60s and then the SF70H as well, will scream around this Mugello circuit. Belts going on right now, and the sense of eager anticipation awaiting the spectators, and of course us here as well, as these cars will be unleashed on track. And it's not only the cars that you will see on track, but we'll also simulate a pit stop as well. Sorry, I don't want to give too much away, because I want it to be as much of a surprise to you as actually potentially it is to me. And there you can see the DTM car that was driven by the likes of Alex Albon and Liam Lawson, and also Nick Cassidy, in a hugely successful season as the Ferrari brand made its debut in the DTM and became, of course, becoming the DTM team champions. Liam Lawson having done a fantastic job and winning something of a battle at the end of the season as well, if I may say. In terms of GT success, for the Competizione GT branch of Ferrari, with success in the WEC, 24-hour Le Mans, of course, and also in LMGTE AM. But not only that, also in the GT World Challenge Endurance Cup, the 24-hour of Spa, so many ELMS, I mean, just so much success that Ferrari has enjoyed this year with so many great drivers. Francois Perotto, Niklas Nielsen, Alessia Rivera, who we're delighted is joining us as a Competizione GT driver. Alessandro Pierguidi, James Collado, Combe Ledegar, to mention lots of others as well, including Miguel Molina and Matteo Cressoni. And you can see the F1 cars being fired up now to get this show underway.
Ringrazio il collega Alberto Borgini per il passaggio in cabina. Si accendono i motori e sfumiamo Hold the Tiger, la grande musica di Radio Bruno,
supporting and assisting Alberto Borgini down there
alla cabina di commento con
as the Formula One cars
di
then
Formula 1 con al volante
are being prepared,
e Olivier
and there is Giancarlo Fisichella.
F60 del 2009, ricordo queste
cars up on the jacks at the moment, tyre warmers are on.
Si sta per passare dalla musica all'altrettanto musicale suono dei motori.
Cars released from their jacks. The engine note rises, so does the so very much does the excitement and sense of anticipation here in Mugello. And the drivers, Giancarlo Fisichella Olivia Beretta and Andrea Bertolini about to make their way down the pit lane and onto this track. And for the moment, we're going to disengage our microphones so that you can enjoy the unmistakable sound of Ferrari F1.
Solo l'inizio per il commento di questa fase. Microfono a te Michele in cabina, dove hai tutti i monitor per seguire questo mini Gran Premio, le prime emozioni Ferrari dello show. A te Michele.
Grazie Alberto, prendo la
So the sounds of these fantastic F60s and SF70H Formula One cars from Scuderia Ferrari around the Mugello circuit, and for Formula One fans, wherever you are. And these are absolutely unmistakable cars and unmistakable sounds. And here, through the middle then, as the cars slow down and approach the starting gantry. Brian, it sends shivers down one's spine, does it not?
It does. It's a sound that we haven't heard in live competition for a while, and the whole of the circuit shakes when these three cars go round. Phenomenal.
And let's get the start underway then, and the cars are released. Absolutely awesome. Of course, the cars are lovingly prepared and maintained at Maranello, and it affords us as race fans the opportunity to enjoy these spectacular cars in demonstration just like this. Enjoy. Cars being driven by Giancarlo Fisichella, by Olivia Beretta and Andrea Bertolini, who, I have to tell you, knowing all three of them, they get as much buzz out of being on track and still being able to enjoy these cars and allow us to enjoy them. They get such a buzz out of doing it. And there you can see as the banners are unfolded, the cars swap places in a proper demonstration then. And they know how much this means to everyone that is here and to everyone that is watching. And the prancing horse is unfurled in the main grandstand. The peculiarities of each and every one of the iterations of the Ferrari Formula One cars, so really interesting to see all the nuances and the differences between the F60 and the SF70H, for example, as the titanium against the tarmac allows the sparks to fly, and enjoy some more sounds of these iconic Ferrari Formula One cars. So around the back of the circuit they go, and the immersive village that is created just for the finale mondiali was seen there. And to experience a finale mondiali event in is just absolutely amazing. And there is the SF70H being driven by Andrea Bertolini, and the two F60s driven by Giancarlo Fisichella and Olivia Beretta. The sound is almost as intriguing as the car slows down as when it accelerates as well. Across the rumble strips and into the final turn here at Mugello, where you run downhill, and of course this very track playing host to Formula One last season. Into the pit lane as the F60s maintain their presence out on track. We go live down to the pit lane for something very special indeed. As the teams go to work now and simulate a pit stop, cars released. Those skills maintained and still honed just as much as always. So with a new set of boots on the SF70H then, driven by Andrea Bertolini, and the two F60 cars from Giancarlo Fisichella and Olivia Beretta. This trio of Formula One machinery on show, on display, and on track in anger for the benefit of all of us. Shortcut being taken then here at Mugello. You can shortcut the lap if you choose to do so, and that's what our drivers are doing right now, bringing the cars into the pit lane, and each and every person here in Mugello really appreciating and enjoying the fact that these cars have been allowed to roar around Mugello. Of course, the Ferrari success, not only all those GT titles that I...
Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up, I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
The pain makes it real, I don't wanna feel, I just wanna kill the bad thoughts and steal a good thought and meal. I'm just lost, I feel, I'm just lost, I feel. I need time to heal, I can't steer the wheel. Cause this drive to kill, and it gives me chills. A nice road it feels, I slip off the peel and crash all the steel. Will I ever heal?
I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause 'cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. 'Cause I can't move on till I let go.
As the cars are out of the pit lane, absolutely wonderful to see. 3 cars driven by James Collado, Miguel Molina and Niklas Nielsen, of course. And then the GT World Challenge car is driven by Alessandro Pierguidi, and the DTM car driven by Liam Lawson, who was on air with us literally just a half an hour or so ago. Wonderful to have all these drivers and all these cars here as part of our Ferrari show. Let me just showcase once again how successful this brand has been in GT racing this year. In WEC, the 24-hour Le Mans, Pierguidi and James Collado, world champions. Combe Ledergar, of course, also part of the 24-hour Le Mans success. Manufacturer Championship, LMGTE AM with Francois Perotto, Niklas Nielsen, Alessio Rivera. 24-hour Le Mans and Drivers' Championship, and also Teams Championship, I should mention, to AF Corsa. The sight and sound of these cars, Amanda Busick, is awesome.
And we're catching up with Juan Carlo, who just finished his laps here at Mugello. But when you think of your career and being associated with the Ferrari brand, how meaningful was that to your life?
Well, it was the dream of when I was young, the dream became true. Especially my first race with Ferrari was when I replaced Massa after his accident. It was in Monza, and it was amazing. I got great memories, and I'm still proud to be part of this big family. Since 2010, I'm racing in the GT endurance racing. So I'm still Ferrari factory racing driver, and this is amazing.
When you look at the success that Ferrari has had in the GT classes, especially this season, what's ahead for Ferrari?
This year has been a fantastic season for Ferrari. We won everything in every championship. It's been a very tough season for everybody until the last lap at the last race. But we did it, so I'm very proud of it. Yeah.
Congratulations on the success.
Thank you for catching up with Giancarlo Fisichella. And look at this sight as these fantastic cars, as part of our Competizione GT show, roar around the Mugello circuit as I continue with my list of successes that Ferrari has enjoyed. Including in the GT World Challenge, the Endurance Cup, Alessandro Pierguidi, Combe Ledergar, Niklas Nielsen, 24-hour Spa, both Pro Class, the championship. And incidentally, Alessandro Pierguidi, the first driver to win back-to-back titles. In Pro-Am, Chris Froggatt and Jonathan Hui, championship win. 24 hours Spa, the Spirit of Race with Miguel Molina and Matt Griffin and Duncan Cameron. Should also mention Arino Mastronardi as well, who drove in the ELMS with Miguel Molina and Matteo Cressoni. But the drivers we are seeing here as part of this unbelievable year of GT racing success, and should mention Simon Mann's Italian GT Championship, and of course Liam Lawson, junior champion in DTM, and AF Corsa are the team champions. The drivers we are seeing here are James Collado, Miguel Molina, Niklas Nielsen, Alessandro Pierguidi, and of course Liam Lawson. Miguel Molina, official Ferrari GT driver, and they are all official Ferrari drivers representing this phenomenal brand that we have, and doing such a good job out there and giving us such a spectacle and such a show to enjoy. And in such difficult circumstances with regards to the pandemic, for drivers like Niklas Nielsen, for drivers like James Collado, for drivers like Alessandro Pierguidi, where travel has been more difficult. Also for the teams as well that have to engineer these cars, as we see Alessandro Pierguidi's car then. you know, the challenges that are impacted and afforded to these teams to compete, and then to have such success as they have in the GT arena this year is utterly, utterly remarkable. And what a sight that is. With Liam Lawson leading the pack of cars at the moment. And of course he, for the first time ever, DTM competing in the Ferrari, competing in the DTM with Liam Lawson, season-long driver, being joined at times by Alexander Albon, and of course with Nick Cassidy as well. And Niklas Nielsen and Liam Lawson have joined us on the air over the course of this weekend, as have a number of other drivers as well, including Davide Rigon, who of course in the 24-hour of Spa had that crash, and I can tell you that Davide will be heading off to Kyalami shortly and is back to fighting fitness and is absolutely fine and well. And looking forward to getting back into that race seat once again. That is an awesome, awesome livery across these wonderful cars. So too is that one, and that one, oh, and that as well. Okay. They're all good, they're all lovely, and they are all successful. And we thank our drivers and we thank the teams. And we should remember AF Corsa and Amato Ferrari, who of course is here this weekend, who has engineered so much success over so many years for this wonderful brand. I was having a chat with Amato Ferrari last night, and he's a terribly, terribly engaging character who lives, breathes the emotions that we all share in motor racing. And they're for the applause of all the fans that are here from the Scuderia Ferrari fan clubs, and also from the factory at Maranello, as well as the GT show reaches its conclusion and the cars park up then. What a wonderful sight. And thanks to our drivers, James Collado, Miguel Molina, Niklas Nielsen, Alessandro Pierre Guidi, and Liam Lawson. And now something very special for you to enjoy. This and that is something extraordinary. The Ferrari Daytona SP3. I had the privilege of being at the unveiling of this remarkable car last night. And Flavio Manzoni, who is the head of design for Ferrari, I have to say I am absolutely thrilled that you have chosen to join us here. And I remain amazed at just how you and your team are able to design such works of art, sir.
Dave, thank you so much. Good morning everyone. Good morning all the Ferrari fans and all our colleagues.
What an extraordinary car. And I have to say, Flavio, of course, you are head of design. Ultimately, with a brand with the heritage and prestige of Ferrari, for you to come up with and to design something that is literally so pleasing to the eye and so desirable to everyone, it must make you very satisfied when you are able to deliver something like this Daytona.
I'm very proud, I have to admit it. It's incredible to see this car now besides one of the most beautiful masterpieces of the history, that is the 330 P3 P4. It has been a fantastic challenge. You can imagine the responsibility to create a new Icona and especially a new masterpiece, because the idea was not only to make a car that is beautiful and perform.
I'm listening to, talking to my producer.
Don't worry. So not only a fantastic supercar, but also a piece of art. This was our intention. I have to say that the team has been incredible, fantastic.
We will talk some more in just a moment. We are delighted that you are with us. I believe we can go down into the pit lane. I think Amanda Busick has managed to get hold of James Collado.
That is right. We are standing by with James. And James, when you look at the success that you found this season, what was the highlight for you?
Hard to hear with these amazing cars. They're awesome. The highlight, I mean, it was an incredible year for the team, for myself and Ale. I think winning Le Mans was absolutely incredible for the second time. And obviously, second time world champion is a great achievement. And now we can celebrate by driving these amazing cars.
You recently welcomed a baby girl. What do you look forward to of telling her about your years as a Ferrari racing driver?
Oh yeah, I mean, at the moment she doesn't really understand, but it's nice to hopefully one day sit down and tell her about what we did and, continue to do. So I'm still reasonably young, so I've got a few more years left, but it's a great feeling.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Amanda, catching up with James Collado. As I mentioned earlier on, we are absolutely delighted to have Flavio Manzoni, head of design at Ferrari, with us with this wonderful, the next chapter, if I can say that, of the Icona project, and the awesome Daytona SP3.
This car now together, this unbelievable P3, P4 that are one of my, let's say, masterpieces, one of my, let's say, favorite Ferrari masterpieces of the history. And I think we are all very proud about this project. You know the history of the Icona project.
Indeed, and when you, as a designer and your team, when you take your inspiration from cars of the past which have been iconic, of course, to design something which is now modern, but to pay heritage and pay homage to that has gone before. Yeah. It's an extraordinary, difficult task, but you achieve it so well.
You know that we started with the Icona project with the, let's say, the Monza. The Monza is not really the modern interpretation of the Monza 7050, but it's the modern interpretation of the Barchetta concept itself, because this is such an extraordinary architecture that it doesn't exist in the world anymore. So a car that was able to create a fantastic, let's say, symbiosis between man and machine. And the second chapter of this history is the new Icona that we call Daytona SP3. And here we wanted to catch the spirit of the sport prototype of the 60s and the 70s. Yes. There were such beautiful cars, like not only the P3, P4, but also the 350 Can-Am, for example, the 512S, and so on. They were cars designed for the track and for the performance and to win, but they were also incredible beauties.
Yes.
So it's amazing how they can be so beautiful. They are, let's say, masterpieces. They are pieces of art, although they are designed for the track. So this is the spirit that we wanted to catch with the new Daytona SP3. And of course, we are talking about a language which is a Ferrari language. It's a lexicon. It's let's say a set of let's say linguistic codes that we wanted to somehow to note at. But we wanted to make a car that is futuristic and very modern. I think you can see it now, and it's beautiful to see the car now on the track.
For sure, and actually it really does not look out of place alongside the heritage and the history. You of course, you are the head of the team, but it must be such a talented team that you have behind you that is able to lead this concept.
I have the fortune to have around me fantastic colleagues. They are designers, modelers, virtual modelers. They are fantastic. They are artists. And I'm very proud about this team. And today, it's my pleasure also to mention all the names of the most important elements of the team that worked on this amazing car. And starting from the exterior design, Carlo Palazzani, Stefano De Simone, Simone Sabatucci, and Jason Furtado did a fantastic job. Regarding the interior is such a beautiful cockpit with a very original design language, as you can see, Dave. And Fabio Massari led the interior design team together with Marco Marino, Nicola Bevilacqua, Andrea Ortile, Gabriele Cataldi, Gabriele Rizzi, and Roberto Mascuzzo. And last but not least, you have seen this beautiful white version, this matte white version with the livery that has been designed by the color and print team, especially Silvia Cavallaro and Silvia Capuano. They did a fantastic job. And they are always ready to, let's say, to offer their support to our clients to make their cars very original, not only because of the shape, but also because the color choice and the liveries and so on. And I want to mention also, if you can, Dave,
please,
the head of the team leader of the project, Corrado Iotti, the engineer that led the project with a fantastic vision. He has been really, really great, understanding perfectly that the beauty is one of the most important qualities of a Ferrari. Ferrari must be not only performant and innovative in terms of technology, but also must be a piece of art.
I've had the privilege of being at the gala dinner last night when this car was unveiled. And I have also had the benefit of coming to Maranello. I've had the benefit of being at the fantastic museum of Ferrari as well, which may I remind our viewers that some of the earlier successful GT cars that we saw on track just a few moments ago will be on display very, very soon in the Ferrari Museum. But when you look in the museum and you look at the cars that have littered the fantastic Ferrari history with such beauty and with such engineering excellence, I now can understand exactly what a hard and difficult job you and your team have to recreate that and recreate it into a concept which is so beautiful and so modern, of course, with modern materials. But does not that make, Flavio, the people of the past who designed those cars, they were so clever as well, weren't they?
Of course, of course. Sometimes they were masters of in the construction of the metal sheet parts of the car. So they were able, even if maybe they weren't designers, working on cars like that, but they had this kind of artistic approach that probably is the result of the absorption of the artistic culture of Italy. We are surrounded by so many masterpieces.
Indeed.
In art, in architecture, in sculpture, so on. Probably this is one of the reasons why we could, let's say, convey such an incredible aesthetic quality to our products as well.
Flavio, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time to be with us on the air. I know you have to disappear because you will be part of some of the celebrations down there on the track and the photographs, but thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much.
You should be so proud of what you have created, you and your team. Well done indeed. So there we can see the wonderful Daytona SP3. And here comes Amanda Busick once again.
Nicholas, we're talking about the just design and the stateliness of the Daytona that was released last night. When you first saw it, what was your reaction?
I think it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, this is what Ferrari can. Create iconic cars, fast cars, and as they said yesterday, it's passion, it's history, and it's performance all together.
When you look at the success that you and your team have had this year, what's been the leading moment for you?
It's difficult to say. I mean, Spa 24 and 24 Hours of Le Mans was definitely, let's say, the peak of the year. But I think, looking in general for the Ferrari brand, it's been an amazing season all over. And I mean, I'm really proud to be a part of the family. And I mean, coming here to Finali Mondiali, starting in the challenge a few years ago, and watching this incredible event is something very special.
When you see the fans in the stands, you see everyone lined up watching this show, what goes through your mind?
Yeah, we're finally able to gather a few people again, and it's amazing. I mean, to celebrate all the winners from the Ferrari Challenge, but also the brand itself and all the other winners in the Ferrari cars over the year.
Great job, Nicholas.
Thank you very much.
You're watching the Ferrari show live from Mugello. And we've been celebrating everything that is great and good about Ferrari as part of the finale mondiali weekend. Enthusiastic fans in the stands.
Stiamo iniziando ad apparecchiare qui in rettilineo una super foto della quale ovviamente sarete parte, lato tribuna e lato altrettanto magnifico della terrazza.
So you can see the passion that is here for Ferrari. We've seen a number of the Formula One cars
la magia della Daytona SP3, questa vettura che
prosegue
la tradizione.
Alessandro Pereguidi
Raffaele può scendere perché con una delle
damigelle c'è stato qualche problemino, being interviewed. You can hear the words from him as the rest of the cars formed onto the grid. So, Alessandro Pereguidi.
We're standing by on pit lane with Alessandro Pereguidi, and what a year that you and your team had. I want to go back to the 24 hours of Spa, those last couple of laps. What was going through your mind as you're about to make this year moment with your team?
To be honest, I was trying to win that race for so long time. A couple of times I've been second. I won the class, but never overall. And when I had the possibility, I knew that I have to go. I was quicker. The time was going fast. The end of the race, and I knew there could be a safety car or something to neutralize everything. So I have to do. As my first possibility I had, I went. It was a nice move, and yes, it was a nice move because we won the race.
When you look at the success you had this year, what can we expect next season?
It's difficult to expect something even with the same result of this year. It's been amazing. We won almost everything, and to repeat will be very difficult, but we will try.
So, as the XX program cars and F1 Clienti cars, as we've already seen, the XX programs, let's enjoy. This is what they are all about, these programs. So as we see the XX programs, the laboratory cars making their way round to the start-finish straight to form part of the huge official photograph that we'll have here in Mugello to celebrate this finale mondiali weekend and the conclusion of what has been a fantastic season for Ferrari. I have to say, I have had the pleasure to be in one of these FXXK Evo cars and taken for a very, very hot lap around the Indianapolis circuit. And boy, I cannot tell you how impressive these cars really are. And again, and we're delighted to have Flavio Manzoni here, the head of design of Ferrari. He was here with us as we were looking at the Kona show, and the a fantastic car and design of the Daytona. In the meantime, just before we get into that, let's talk to Liam Lawson, DTM Ferrari star. He's with Amanda Busick.
It is a little loud here on pit lane, so we prepped Liam a little bit with at least the introductory question. Taking in this experience of the Ferrari show, so much history, such impressive automobiles here. What's going through your thoughts as you take this in with us?
Yeah, it's very, very nice to be a part of. It's my first time at Finali Mondiali, so I'm having a great time. It was nice to drive my car that I race this year as well. I think it'll be the last time I get to drive it, so for me it was nice to do that. And yeah, such a big event, my first time here, but I've really enjoyed it.
When you reflect on the season that you had, what will come to mind?
I think we're all over the result now. It's in the past, but for me it's been a great year. I really enjoyed it. It's my first time with Ferrari, so yeah, working with the team, working with all the guys. I think the most passionate team I've been a part of. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Liam Lawson, who is a credit, and he joins the rest of the drivers down there. And you could just see in the background Amato Ferrari from AF Corsa, of course. Amato is an architect of success and a lovely man to talk to. And just year after year after year, under the guidance, of course, of the Antonello Coletta, the head of Attività Sportive GT, collectively the team do such a good job. As we see these 599XX cars, these laboratory cars from Ferrari, which certain clients get to own and then run against the clock on specific track days at wonderful circuits around the world. It's not only here in Europe, but around the world as well. A fantastic opportunity and one of real privilege for those that own these cars. And you know, the opportunities for passengers to be in those, and I have to say, until you really experience it, Brian, you don't realize quite, I mean, with all due respect, I'm not the smallest guy in the world, and I did question whether I would be able to fit into an FXXK Evo, but I certainly did, and boy, I really enjoyed that. And Amato Ferrari, of course, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, head of AF Corsa. He's with Amanda Busick.
Well, Dave, as we've been speaking of just the immense success that Ferrari found this season, and Amato, when you look back on the last year with all the wins that Ferrari had and seeing that prancing hot car in victory, what does that mean to the brand of getting these victories?
Yeah, it was an amazing season. We achieved a fantastic result during the 2021, and the team worked very well with Ferrari guys behind that support us in a fantastic way. And it's fantastic to stay here and celebrate all our results that we did during this year with all the people and all our fans.
To hear race cars in front of a stand full of people again, how exciting is that for you?
Yeah, the people that are here are excited and the cars are amazing. They presented a new icon and that is something special, and there is no word, always a big emotion to be here.
Thank you, Amato, and congrats.
Thank you.
Amato Ferrari then, who I have said we have this wonderful program in Ferrari called Open Mic. And you'll see some of those programs during the course of the winter. And I'll make you a promise. I'm going to get Amato Ferrari to sit down with me and we're going to record one of those programs on AF Corsa. Olivia Beretta to the left-hand side of the screen. To the right-hand side is Giancarlo Fisichella. In the middle is Miguel Molina and Andrea Bertolini in there as well. Thank you guys for everything that you do. And I have to say the drivers from the GT part of Ferrari are so welcoming and so kind and always freely giving of their time. joining us on the air, and we really respect them and thank them for that. Our Competizione GT drivers, and of course, it's wonderful to see that from the Ferrari Challenge, which of course is our primary focus across the course of a weekend, a race weekend, that drivers in the Ferrari Challenge, like Niklas Nielsen, go on to become official Competizione GT drivers. It's a great, great proving ground. So all the cars are being assembled then for the photograph. And may I remind you at this point, and Flavio and myself were talking about this earlier, the fantastic museum at Maranello, which is wonderful and a must go to if you've not been there. That will contain some examples of such a successful GT racing career in the museum from next week, I believe. So please, please make that a part of your, when you're allowed to travel and when you can do so, you must go to the Ferrari Museum. It is awesome. And after such a successful year, the cars that have delivered that success this year are going to be on, some of those are going to be on display as well. So we're preparing ourselves for the official photograph with all the dignitaries, and we can see President, Mr. Elkan, in conversation there. Just see to the back of your picture, Ferrari as well, and everyone assembling, and what a lineup this is. And if we had goosebumps earlier on in the program, Brian, being in and amongst these cars, what the heck does that do to us?
It's phenomenal, isn't it? I mean, look at all that machinery. The noise, you talked about the FXX program earlier, the noise of those cars going around alone is absolutely deafening. Of course, we saw the Formula One cars earlier. Just that shot alone, it's iconic in itself here at such an iconic circuit as Mugello. It really is phenomenal.
It is that. It is that. No question about it. Alberto Borghini down there along with Michele Mambelli then, and those people that we will be seeing in the photograph, including Enrico Galliera, the Senior Vice President of Commercial and Marketing. And I think let's go back down to the track right now with Amanda Busick.
Well, we are walking to get ready for the photos that they're going to do on track. And when you take in the day that you are seeing, how is it for you?
It's unbelievable. It's the first time I'm attending here. It's great.
Thank you, Amanda. And everyone getting ready for the photographs. As I was saying, the people that you are going to see, Enrico Galliera, Senior Vice President, Commercial and Marketing, Piero Ferrari, Vice President, of course, Benedetto Vigna, Chief Executive Officer, and John Elkan, the Chairman. And there they are all preparing for the photograph. And let's take a look at the highlights of some of the Ferrari Challenge racing that has been part of this finale Mondiali weekend. So those were the highlights from Ferrari Challenge Copa Shell. And as you can see, preparations being made for the photograph to be taken, and this will appear in official Ferrari publications, and is, you know, just to be part of it. And if I waved very vigorously now, you might be able to see where we are, but I doubt it. Look at this car. Absolutely awesome. The Icona project, and the launch of it last night was spectacular, to say the very least. And there we can see Antonio Fuoco and Niklas Nielsen and Alessandro Pierguidi, all there, as well as Alessio Provera. Antonio Fuoco then feels like he's been around forever, but he's still a young man. He's with Amanda Busick now.
Well, as we get ready for the picture here on the Gran Antonio, as you take in this day and you look at your history as a Ferrari racing driver, how fulfilling has that been for your life?
It's so nice to be here today. I mean, it's unbelievable, all the atmosphere, all the people around here. So it's really, you can see how the Ferrari is passion and everything. So it's really nice to be here today. We have a good season. I hope we will have a better season next year. So thanks to everyone to be here today, and thanks to all of you.
Enjoy taking the moment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda, with Antonio Fuoco.
Niente, grazie mille per essere qui. Come ben detto Giancarlo, per noi questi anni sono stati difficili senza di voi nelle gare.
So Alberto down there, and they're of course right at the head of the picture.
Per tutto qua.
The 24-hour Le Mans trophy. Let's have a look now at the highlights of the Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli that raced across this weekend.
Ferrari Challenge, il monomarca.
There was Luca Nomi then. Finale Mondiali 2021. We're just about ready for the official photographs to be taken now.
In italiano James Calado, anzi approfitto della pausa. Tell something in Italian. Wonderful tifosi.
James Calado, Italian. Come on then.
Lui è uno dei campioni del mondo, James Calado. In italiano. No, va bene, poi?
Okay. Grazie mille, thank you. Forza Ferrari, sempre, sempre.
Bravo, un messaggio breve ma importante.
Well done, James.
Forza Ferrari sempre. Andiamo a controllare l'allestimento della foto. La pole position è con il top management di Ferrari, quindi ci prepariamo a liberare. È già schierato il presidente.
So all the top management, all the cars.
Poi andremo ad ascoltare, credo, il dottor Vigna per le sue prime impressioni
all part
al primo
of this
contatto con le sue
fantastic
prime
picture.
finali mondiali da amministratore delegato. Poi c'è Enrico Galliera come sempre. Faremo parlare anche Antonello Coletta, lo avviso, così si prepara. È colui che ha portato anche quest'anno il titolo mondiale costruttori GT, e parleremo con lui anche delle altre attività sportive GT che meritano tutte di essere ricordate come si deve. A destra vedo schierato con le tute vedere la rappresentanza con i vari piloti delle attività, vedo gli amici clienti del gruppo Formula 1, dei programmi XX, si è aggiunto con le vetture in coda il club Competizione GT, quindi non manca davvero nessuno. E vi chiederemo di partecipare al gran finale della foto perché la faremo diventare ola per la versione televisiva, ma prima lo scatto ufficiale, poi potremo urlare tutti insieme.
Well, there we have it as the photograph is taken from Brian, from myself, and from Flavio Manzoni, the head of Ferrari Design. Thank you so much for being part of our Ferrari show. Until next year at the finali mondiali in Imola, when we will do it all over again. But before that, a whole season of success to come. Goodbye.
Che ci vuole tutto per questo 2021 di successi per le attività sportive GT. E ora sì che potete scatenarvi da tribuna, perché noi vogliamo rivolgervi un applauso, perché voi lo meritate, per l'affetto che non fate mancare mai. Siamo onorati di avervi finalmente qui oggi, seppur in maniera parziale, ma è una ripartenza, è già meglio delle finali mondiali di Misano, arretrate, ritardate, a porte chiuse, questa volta almeno ci siete. Fateci sentire quali sono gli Scuderia Ferrari Club. Ah, ecco, mi sembra adesso di riconoscere l'entusiasmo. E poi persone Ferrari in arrivo da Maranello, voi che lavorate nell'ombra per risultati importanti, commerciali, sportivi, sì, applaudite, ma noi applaudiamo voi. Vado a rubare una battuta al dottor Vigna, se è d'accordo, è appena sbarcato.